therapy taught me that to center the broken parts or the ages that I needed to tend to. And the metaphor that I like to use is that we're all an onion, you know? And for me, my first trauma happened when I was 4. And that's like the center, the heart of the onion. Then 9 or 5, my mom leaves. And then I leave, and 9, that's another layer. And then another layer once I make it to this country, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And to really heal, therapy teaches us to go back, if you can, to that center or to that part that you want to really look into and heal. And sometimes, and this is where writing is different, or you can use and mesh both together. For me, writing, and that's why Solito, I didn't begin it by centering that 9-year-old. It was the 30-year-old trying to tell you, reader, this story. And something occurred in therapy first, and then on the page, that the voice and everything kind of like clicked open once I sat that little kid down. And I treated him how he always wanted to be treated, which is with tenderness, with love, and really putting him on a platform, on a stage, as you will, and really honor his life. And that is something that I needed to do for myself so I could really heal that only one part of the onion. And which is not something that I did with my first book. In hindsight, and I know I'm gonna sound, I don't know, like self-deprecating, but I don't mean to. But I really look at my first book of poems as not centering that little kid. I was trying to center other people's voices, in particularly whiteness as power. I was giving my power away as an immigrant. At the time, when I began to write poetry, I was undocumented. And then I had TPS, or temporal protective status. And I look at my book now, my first book, as trying to convince citizens that I mattered. And that is not part of healing. That is not part of the onion. That's outside of the onion. And I am a very, I guess, to use a cliche, I think that the more personal that you get, the more political you can be. Because we're all political in a way. And now to look at an event that just happened, which is Bad Bunny's halftime show. You know? I think everybody was moved. And the part, and like I even talked about it with my therapist, because what my therapist said is like, look at this man. He really knows how to center that little child in himself. And that makes him different than every other artist. And the moment that really got to me in the show was when he gives the Grammy to himself. And when he wakes that other kid up at the party, in those two instances, I was crying. Because he is showing us how to heal and how to center that little child in order to stop thinking of everything else. Because nothing else matters if you don't begin to look inward and begin to treat yourself with the kindness that you deserve.
That's great.